right, we're live. Good morning. Welcome back to my channel. This is Empress Radio. So Laila Ali has finally responded. She went live and she did about a 30-minute video talking about Claressa Shields. It's called Let the Record Show Part 1. So we're going to get into it. I do want to show you guys a little bit of the backstory. So a few months ago, Laila Ali said that she might consider, quote unquote, returning to the ring if maybe she was offered $15 to $20 million. So this is what she had to say here about the situation. Let's see. Go back a little further.
Laila, last one, Claressa Shields. There's rumors that you're gonna come back and fight her. What everybody's talking about it, or in the boxing circle.
The rumor that I heard was that I said that unless somebody had 15, 20 million, don't even call me about this. That's all.
Turkey has that money. Turkey's gonna set this up. I know it.
Unless somebody calls me and says they have it, we're not even gonna have a conversation. I'm not trying to come back and fight, but if someone offered that kind of money, I would actually have to think about it.
I'll talk to Turkey tonight.
Do I look like I can fight again?
Yes, you do.
Yeah. I think so.
And you're beautiful too.
Thank you.
All right. So after she said that she would consider it, Claressa Shields is like, all right, bet. So I guess she secured she actually went and secured a deal for $15 million for a boxing match against Laila Ali. Let's make it happen. So Claressa Shields just put serious pressure on Laila Ali. Days after the boxing legend said she wouldn't fight for less than $15 million, Shields says the money is secure. Laila, I'm here with my team. I got some great news for you. We got the $15 million. The undefeated champ said in a video to TMZ Sports. Ruben Branson's Win Records is contributing the massive amount of cash. Shields' team even pulled out a check made out to Laila Ali. Let's make a fight between me and you. The best versus the best. The greatest versus the greats. The GOAT versus Muhammad Ali's daughter, Laila Ali. Let's make it happen, Shields said. Shields' team also says they have locked down two of the most prominent venues in the county, T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas and AT&T Stadium in Dallas. Rumi's Ali hasn't responded yet, but we'll update you when she does. So this also
Everybody's talking about it, or in the boxing circle.
So this is Claressa Shields' response.
Somebody had 15, 20 million.
You see Papoose was there.
Don't even call me.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what we like. Laila, I'm here with my team. I got great news for you.
So she really brought her team out like it's like a company meeting. They're not playing.
We got the 15 million. Let's make a fight between me and you, the best versus the best, the greats versus the greats, the GOAT versus Muhammad Ali's daughter, Laila Ali. Let's make it happen. Mark, what else do we got?
Look, we have the two most prominent venues in this country, Cowboy Stadium, T-Mobile Arena, ready to go. They're extremely interested. We just have to finalize deals and dates with them. Most importantly, though, Ruben Branson, Win Records, thank you so much for supporting us, because that's what allows us to make this offer.
Thank you very much, Mark. Win Records' assignment was to bring forth $15 million. We have the $15 million for Laila.
Look.
Let's make this fight happen.
All right, so y'all saw the check. They brought out the check and everything.
That's what I'm talking about. So you said we got
Ali.
15 million. We got the venue.
So they got the $15 million check to Laila Ali. All she has to do is agree to it. All right, so you guys saw that. It's a kind of a big day for boxing, right? So, all right, so that was some of the backstory. Now let's get into what Laila Ali had to say. As you guys see, let me move this. 1 hour ago. So pretty recent. All right, let's get into it. All right, let me speed it up just for copyright reasons. All right, here we go.
There's been a whole lot of talk about the possibility of me making a comeback to boxing, and people have had a lot to say, but I have not addressed it until now. And I know everyone wants to know the answer to the question, will I be coming back? And I promise you, I'm going to give you that answer. But first, I have got to address the lies and the fake narrative that's been created years ago. Now, someone's gotten way too comfortable dragging my name and even using my father's name to get attention and clout. Now, in case you haven't heard it, her story is that I didn't support her and I didn't pass the torch because of my jealousy and envy over her accomplishments in boxing. She says that I disrespected her, and I started talking about knocking her out simply because I was bitter that she's outdone me. I've seen a lot of the comments.
Now, I will say Claressa Shields has been being rude, putting her father in it, just like, you know, being disrespectful and stuff. Like, at least respect your elders in this fighting field, you know.
Many of you have good discernment and understand what's really going on here, while others have believed her lies over the years or have formed an opinion without having all the facts. Now, originally, I wasn't even going to give this my time or attention because I really don't engage with people who thrive off of negativity, drama, and buffoonery. But I'm not about to let someone with bad character continue running freely, dragging my name without accountability.
That's not gonna happen.
Come on now, listen. Laila Ali is just Muhammad Ali's daughter. And
No, come on, we ain't gonna do that.
No, that is right.
Come on, Layla can rumble though.
and Wolf would have knocked Laila Ali out. You know, she was
Oh, she's coming with the receipts. She's not playing no games. Can't keep my name out her mouth. October 2025, $1 million rich of game podcast. And it said, in my best era, Ann Wolf was the best in her era. Laila Ali is just, let me remove the banner. Is just Muhammad Ali's daughter. So they're showing like all the times that she's been disrespectful.
would have knocked Laila, oh so pretty ass out.
So this right here is the consequence. Now,
Muhammad Ali's daughter. And
No, come on, we ain't gonna do that.
No, that is right.
Come on, Layla can rumble though.
and Wolf would have knocked Laila Ali out. You know, she would have knocked Laila, oh so pretty ass out.
so this right here is the consequence. Now, I have been busy working on other projects that required all of my time and focus, which is why I'm just now saying something. But honey, I have made the time to address this. So today, the bad guy ain't getting away. Now let's hit rewind because we really need to see what's happened over the years, what got us here. Now I'm not about to do the whole he say, she say thing, so let me show you some receipts. I first met her in 2012 when she was invited on stage to stand next to me when I gave my father his Liberty Medal. At some point, she reached out, started asking me for advice, wanted to know if she should go to the Olympics a second time or go pro. She would also call me and let me know when she was fighting. Now at the time, I was one of the hosts of We Need to Talk, an all-female sports commentary show that still airs on CBS. I asked the producers if we could do a story on her. They agreed. So I got on a plane, flew to Colorado, and did a full sit-down interview with her. Now this is just a shortened version of the 6-minute piece that aired on CBS in 2016. 21-year-old Claressa Shields is as confident as her right hand is powerful. Soon, Claressa will be heading to Rio for the Olympics to try and do something that is...
Wow, she coming with all the receipts. I didn't see this one.
has never been done before. I sat down to talk with her about changing history and being a positive spark for her hometown. You should have heard the story by now. The one about a kid from Flint, Michigan who has gone toe-to-toe with adversity and stands undefeated.
But I'll always go back to Flint and help.
I know that when I was fighting with any of my struggles that I had to overcome or anything that I was upset about, whether it be something personal or something going on in the world, I would use that anger, and take it into the ring with me and channel that energy into the ring. Have you ever done that?
I did that a lot. I was going through stuff back at home, but I would have a boxing match and I would take out everything I was going through on the girl, and that kind of helped me because after I boxed, that was my ultimate high, and I felt like my life was perfect for at least 2 weeks. So
Claressa's father, a former underground fighter, was passionate about boxing.
he went on to tell me that Muhammad Ali's daughter, Laila, took after him. And he's like, and my dad, he says to this day, Layla's a bad girl. He says all the time. He said nobody in our family took up boxing. I thought when he told me that, he was telling me to take after him.
Claressa beat the odds to win gold in 2012. When the Olympics start in August, she'll try to be the first American boxer to win back-to-back gold medals. Everybody's gonna be fighting you harder. Everybody's gonna be trying to elevate their game. They're gonna be running hard. They're gonna be training hard. They're gonna be dreaming about beating you. How are you preparing for that mentally and physically?
Honestly, I've learned how to beat every fighting style. Tall girls, short girls, girls my size. Because I'm like, I'm pretty good, I'm pretty great, I don't know what I would do.
You're supposed to feel that way about yourself.
Yeah,
Like you wouldn't have been able to get to this level if you didn't feel that way about yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know about you ladies, but I have absolutely no doubt that Claressa is going to win gold again in the Olympics. Women's boxing wasn't even in the Olympics when I was boxing, so I'm like, do it for us, because she's in the weight class I would have been in. So I'm like, go get it, girl, go get it. There's a lot of women who've been training for a long time, and nobody knows who they are. So the Olympics just really gives them a platform and something to strive towards. I didn't even fight amateur because I was like, I can't go to the Olympics.
Guys, make sure you hit the like button when you come in. So if you guys are just coming in, this is Laila Ali's response to Claressa Shields. This is some prior interaction that they had the first time.
Why should I do that? I want to be in control of my career, but it's so great to see these young girls coming up. You got 9-year-olds now and 10-year-olds, and they're inspired by people like Claressa. Now, as you can see, I was genuinely rooting for her. I gave her praise. I gave her a spotlight. When she asked for advice, I gave her valuable branding advice and boxing advice so she could have long-term success in and outside of the ring. I told her about the challenges.
Yes, Laila Ali is a beautiful woman for sure.
That I faced fighting at 168 where there was limited competition, and I suggested that if she decided to turn pro, she should consider going down in weight somewhere around 148 where she would have more competitive challenges. I told her she should hire a nutritionist, trim off that excess body fat, and get into elite next level shape. I pointed her in the right direction, and I had high hopes for her. Whether she decided to turn pro or not, I felt like her future was bright if she played her cards right. But of course, at the time, I was not aware of her divisive, vindictive, and malicious nature. And I know those are strong words, but they actually fit. This girl has created a pattern. It's been directed towards many people time and time again. Now, before we started our interview in Colorado, she said to me, "You're actually fit." This girl has created a
All right, I wanted to see the receipt. Okay, so it says Amanda Serrano says, Claressa, you are one of the best, and I will always admire what you have accomplished. But over the past 3 years, you have constantly made disrespectful comments about my company, my promoter, my accomplishments, and the people I care about who have changed my life and have made it a point to support women's boxing on the biggest stages possible. It's time to recognize this and move forward on separate paths. I will always be a big fan of yours in the ring, and accomplishments stay well. So this was April 16, 2025. What was the other receipt?
pattern. It's been directed towards many people.
This is Claressa Still saying, still don't know how I didn't win the Sportswoman of the Year of the BET Awards, but congrats to Angel Reese and all the other nominees. I just thought accolades mattered. I remember when she posted that.
Time and time again. Now, before we started our interview in Colorado, she said to me, "You're the name people say when it comes to women's boxing. You're the face they know. I want that to be me." Now, looking back after everything that's unfolded, it seems pretty calculated now. Like she was waiting for the right moment, the right excuse to finally do what she'd already made up her mind to do. I mean, that's how it feels now. She told me she saw me as the face of women's boxing, and she told me that she wanted my spot. And she's been on a mission to ruin my reputation ever since, simply because she heard me make a comment that was not about her and she took it personal. Fast forward to 2018, I was promoting my cookbook, Food for Life, and went on The Breakfast Club, a national show with millions of listeners. I did a 36-minute interview, and when the topic of boxing came up, I actually mentioned her and made positive comments. Then much later into the interview, I was asked about the possibility of a comeback.
You ever get back in the ring just for fun?
You still train?
I stay training.
Got you.
Yeah, I got a little baby six-pack right now.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I have a heavy bag hanging in my... I just turned 40.
Wow.
Can you believe it?
No.
I know. I just turned 40. I can't believe it either. Because I think of my healthy lifestyle, the fact that I train all the time, I can pretty much do anything I wanted to. Well, I don't think there's anyone there for me right now that would actually give me a good challenge.
How did you and your husband argue? Because he can't, usually you can say something slick, but with you can't say that slickness.
You was on the Food Network's Chopped.
Yes.
And you won.
I did a couple times.
So what brings you more joy, winning in the ring or winning in the kitchen?
I just like to win, period. Definitely boxing is my first love, and cooking is something that I'm super passionate about.
Gotcha.
It'll be a part of my life forever. I'm not somebody who sits back and complains about things. I think everything happens.
All right, so as far as the Breakfast Club, I'm going to just fast forward a little bit because they don't play. We over there copywriting people, so I'm going to just skip. All right, here we go. Sorry about that, but nope.
Good terms. She was reaching out to me and referring to me as Big Sis, but this was her response.
I watched the Breakfast Club video with Laila Ali. I have so much respect for her, and I like her. I actually call her my big sis, but it was so many shots thrown. Like, if y'all really paid attention, her saying, oh, there's not nobody good enough at 168, my weight class, that could give her a challenge when I'm the number one in my weight class. And, I'm just like, nah. And, I just feel like, she gave props where it's due, but, she also spoke on how, what I'm doing for women's boxing is great, but it's not great enough for her. And it's like, we got two different goals and sets in life. Me winning 2 Olympic gold medals is just the beginning. Even when she was boxing, she never fought on Showtime, HBO. I fought the main event on Showtime. I don't know how many times now. Fastest woman to win a world title. I did it in 4 fights. And yeah, you can say, oh, the competition isn't there, and this girl wasn't that. But like I did it up in 4 fights, and the girls that Laila Ali fought wasn't that great either. I mean, like, I'm the best female boxer that I've ever seen, and if Laila Ali wants to come back, we can rumble, we can go. This is not like, oh, I'm gonna step away. Like I respect her and everything, but you're not gonna come back and beat me. You know what I'm saying? Like, this can happen. I just don't like the disrespect. And this is my last video too about this. I never used her name to try to be like, try to call her out of retirement. It's basically like she talking about she can my retirement. She just gonna beat me if she decided to.
Now, of course, I didn't respond to this, but I noted it. For someone who hardly had any experience as a professional boxer and was supposedly looking up to me, for her to think that I would even call her name in a conversation about me fighting or making a comeback was silly to me. Especially since I had literally told her that I retired from boxing because I didn't feel inspired or challenged anymore by the level of competition that was available to me. We had that talk. So I learned a lot about her character and her mindset. She took what I said out of context and made it all about her. I decided I was no longer going to invest time or energy into her. But she, on the other hand, she took it straight to social media, started comparing her boxing skills to mine, making negative comments about me, and pitting herself against me in a fight. A year later, I was doing press for my show Homemade Simple on OWN, so I went on Sway Universe, another syndicated national show with millions of listeners. We were talking, he asked me about boxing, he asked me about her, I said positive comments as usual, then he plays one of her visits.
Are you watching women's boxing today?
Oh yeah.
You like Claressa?
I do. I think that she's a talented fighter, and she has the opportunity right now. The stage is set, so now she just has to kind of do her thing. I
Talk about Homemade Simple, airing Saturdays 9 a.m. on the OWN network. Okay, it's an incredible show. I had Claressa here.
Podcasters are so messy. He couldn't wait to. He's like, yeah, you like her? Yep. All right, I got this receipt.
Right. I asked her who does she think would win, and you against you in your prime and her now. And this is what she said.
She's not cut like me. She don't take the challenges. Like, she didn't fight against Ann Wolf. I fight against the best and beat the best. And if Laila Ali was to come out of retirement, I beat her too.
That's not anything I haven't heard before. First of all, she's supposed to feel like she's the greatest.
Absolutely.
But just because you think you are doesn't mean you are.
Okay.
I like to support and uplift people, and I think that on your way up, just do your best not to disparage those that have come before you. First of all, she could never beat me.
Okay.
Let me just get that straight right now.
Get that straight, Laila?
Let's get that straight right now.
Okay.
And not simply because she's not strong enough, because I would definitely knock her out, but because she's not talented enough to beat me. It's a sweet science to boxing. The reason why you have not been able to knock out the opponents that you've already faced, I can totally see it. Why? But maybe if you would have been a little more respectful, and I'm not talking about thinking you can beat me and call that, do all that. I'm talking about just trying to, she didn't do this, she didn't do that.
Yeah.
I don't respect her as a boxer. I only respect her as a businesswoman. I've heard her say that before. I was always there for her because she's a young black girl from Flint, Michigan.
Yeah,
And I want to help uplift her because that's the Ali way. I am successful in so many areas outside of boxing. Boxing is not what defines me. There's always going to be another girl. But I tell you what, when I offered her to spar me, that definitely was a check right there to see. Let me see what kind of heart she has. You should come whoop me just for bragging rights. And she didn't take me up on that offer. I said, okay. And let's put this in context. I'm only talking about this because you're asking me.
She's done a ton of interviews since then, and she's always saying I disrespected her. Now you've seen what she's been referring to. So she felt justified to go on a tirade. And of course, she's twisted the story over the years and taken my comments out of context. Now, according to her, I just started talking about knocking her.
And that's true. I have multiple instances where Claressa Shields has been like really talking and bashing her. Like, I've seen it. I'll probably play it after this.
Out just out of jealousy. Now you've seen what I said, what she said, how this started, and you can see she pitted herself against me in a fight. Now I know some of this younger generation may not be familiar with me, but I've never been one to just talk about things I can't do. When I said that I would knock her out back in 2019, it wasn't any different than what I've said to anyone who's challenged me in the past. You can go back and look at tape on me. That was not just talk for me, it's what I did. TKO, KO, it didn't matter. I was gonna stop you. It wasn't going to a decision. And if you didn't belong in there with me, I was gonna get you out of there. That's just facts. That's not disrespect, that's boxing talk. Back then in 2020, I did get to a point where I was ready to get back in the ring and show her why. Even though she is talented, I said it back then and I'm saying it now, but she could never outbox me. High-level promoters did reach out to me directly, and we had some serious conversations about me making a comeback. Now, of course, she was never even involved in any of those discussions. Then COVID happened, you know how that was, and it all went away, and I left it alone. Now, here is just a small glimpse of the narrative that she's been building over the years.
But I feel like Laila Ali has always been kind of envious of me. I'm just so accomplished in women's boxing, and she never got that due diligence and that respect. So to see me getting it kind of pisses her off. So you look at who she fought, her biggest test was freaking Vonda Ward and Christy Martin, and Christy Martin weighed in at 140 pounds, and Laila Ali was 160. Like, how are you making matches like that? So Laila Ali is a hater. That's it. Nothing but her being a hater and her being, envious of my success and what I've done for women's boxing. And she feels like she deserves that credit because everybody kind of give it to me now. Like, and I think that she's like, but I'm Ali's daughter, and I boxed before her, and I'm 24-0, 21 knockouts, and she kind of, want people to keep acknowledging her. She's retired.
She's retired.
And
She's
been
probably
retired for a long time. 43. I hate when somebody else try to take somebody else shine, somebody else attention. It's like she's, nobody was trying to take her attention when it was her time. Undisputed champion. She's never been undisputed, and people are comparing me to her, and she gets offended when it was like, to me, I thought it was a good comparison because I feel like I box way better than her, and for them to be saying that me and her are equal or whatever, she should have been happy because of that, because they're giving her more props on her skills, which I feel like she didn't really have that much. But whatever. Yeah, we had Laila Ali. Respect. But she can't do for women's boxing what I'm doing. I'm gonna be different because I'm gonna give my blessing, or I'm gonna let a girl take her blessing. And what that means, I'm gonna fight the girls coming up, and if they beat me, now they're the best. That's how you do it. My advice to Laila is you will look a lot better and people will stop calling you a hater and calling you jealous and old and bitter, if you
I have this whole live. I'll play it after.
actually stop hating, bro, you will look better if you was to support the black girl from Flint who made it out the trenches to where she at now. You will look a lot better. She wants to try to make it still seem like she's somewhat relevant in women's boxing. When people give her props about how she built up women's boxing, and I just don't feel the same way. What really did you do for women's boxing? Like, you let it die. You let it die for 20 years, and then I had to come and put in all this extra work to get it to where it is now. I think that wasn't fair, and I don't think that she was as big as a pioneer in women's boxing as she thinks she was, because I would never do that. I would pass the torch.
There are hundreds and hundreds of women who have participated in the sport of boxing over the years. They have all made a contribution in their own way. We don't need to argue over who's done more. That destructive crab in a barrel mentality is exactly what we don't need in the sport. Here she is on a recent podcast explaining how she's passing the torch and that she has created a blueprint for success, which she is now sharing with other female fighters. She says that the number one thing they need to know is how to build their brand.
I actually promote a woman fighter, and I'm giving her all the jewels and stuff that I know, so she can get her big paydays too. It's a blueprint now on how you make $1 million, even if you don't have the gold medals. The biggest blueprint is build your brand.
Oh, she must have forgot years ago she recorded this and said that I gave her the piece of advice that she is now referring to as the most valuable piece of information that you need to be successful. But supposedly I didn't support her and I didn't want to pass the torch.
Laila Ali told me to build my brand, a good brand, and a brand that I want to represent and stand for. And she said, have good people behind me who I trust.
So this whole idea that she started about me being jealous because of her accolades and her surpassing me, do you realize that for years, fans have believed that there's so many fighters that are better than me? I mean, they have more titles than me, multi-million-dollar fights are happening, more money than I ever made, more money than she's making. So I guess if I'm supposedly jealous of her, I must be hating on them too, right? Nope, I actually celebrate other women's success. I have relationships with those women. We have mutual respect. It's all love. She's the only one who decided to make herself my opposition. And she has created this drama and she's kept it going for the past 8 years. People came to know her because she kept calling out my name. She's obsessed with me and she literally cannot keep the name Laila Ali out her mouth. There are people who will say, she's confident, she talks trash. That's what fighters do. Yes, fighters talk. Nobody did it better than my father and me, and we backed it up. I've never had a problem with a fighter saying they could beat me or that they think they're better than me. That's expected. I don't consider that disrespect. But what I do have a problem with is a liar or someone who intentionally tries to disparage me in order to gain visibility and respect. As I mentioned in my interview on Sway, about 8 years ago, I offered her sparring during one of our phone conversations. I was like 40, 41. It was just to give her some work. Well, she changed that subject and never took me up on the sparring. So when I mentioned it on Sway, there was a lot of comments from the public because people were surprised that she wouldn't have taken that opportunity. Now, can you imagine if she and I were to get in the ring and spar back then? You know, there would have been camera phones, it would have been recorded. She would have proof of what she could do and vice versa. So I guess after the feedback and comments that she saw, she felt the need to take it to social media and put out an excuse.
On Sway, that if I was so tough, that I would aspire her for brownie points. I am a 2-time Olympic champ. Only thing that matters to me is what happened outside practice. She talking about practice. Take the you talking about practice? I don't care about sparring nobody. I'll get in there and spar and work with anybody. All I care about is fighting. But like I said, she don't really care about this boxing.
So that was her response. Why sparring? It doesn't mean anything. But many years later, she comes up with a whole new story.
And the thing is, she keeps saying, one time she asked me to spar. Let me tell you this. Jason Crutchfield was my eyes and my ears back then because I was naive. I don't pay attention to stuff. Jason had already told me back then she feels some type of way. Coming in, gold medals and doing your thing, he like, she feels some type of way. But she's still embracing you though. And I said, okay, whatever. But I had mad love for her though. So it was like, the closest thing to Muhammad Ali is Laila Ali. So I love this girl. You know what I'm saying? And looked at her, took her advice and everything. He said, when we going down here, because she had appointed me to give Muhammad Ali the Liberty Medal in Philadelphia. Now that when she asked me to spar, I said, you want to spar me? And that's when it was more of like a, dang, I hate that coach was right about you. I'm like, okay, well, we can spar when you want to spar. I got my stuff in the car. She like, no, it ain't like that. I'm more about, let's not talk about it, let's be about it.
Now, you know that was a flat out lie. We know that if that were true, she would have said it years ago when it first was mentioned that she wouldn't spar me. There is absolutely no way she would have passed up the chance to tell everyone that she called my bluff and I backed down. Now, can you imagine if she and I were to get in the ring and spar back then? You know, there would have been camera phones, it would have been recorded. She would have proof of what she could do and vice versa. I did an interview with Andre for his podcast too, before I had a chance to see her episode. And if you go watch her interview, everything's I think this, somebody told me that, no facts. I need you to understand how deep this goes with this girl. Now I know she's on a constant search for validation. She needs to feel important, and it's obvious she's fixated on me. But watch how she sits on The Breakfast Club, the same show she saw me on back in 2018 when I said I wasn't making a comeback. She goes on in 2020 after dragging my name for years and acts like she has no idea why I no longer support her or want anything to do with her. Now she knows The Breakfast Club is a national show with millions of listeners, so she's careful not to say anything negative about me because that wouldn't fit the story she's trying to sell. Instead, she plays it safe so she can position herself as the victim.
Do I want to fight a 41 or 40-year-old Laila Ali? No. I want to actually her embrace me, I embrace her, and we build women's boxing to the place where it's supposed to be at. But I don't think she sees that vision. Like she doesn't show me any kind of support. Like I see her all the time commenting on the other boxer girl page.
Sorry about that, but the Breakfast Club be striking people. So I'm just gonna fast forward a little bit. Just know she was talking shit on the Breakfast Club. Cause yeah, no. All right, here we go.
And that's their story.
3 months later, she takes her mask off and she's back to her usual story.
Well, and Wolf, you were a better fighter than her. And I believe that that's where this whole beef started from. That, you know, I spoke on that. She hates whenever your name gets mentioned. She still to this day mentions your name. Say how you were scared of her, how you didn't want to fight her. And I don't believe that for 1 second. And she may have a bigger name, but that's because women's boxing wasn't supported how we are now. If Laila Ali came up in this generation, she would not be known. Nobody would know of her. I know for a fact you would have put Laila Ali ass to sleep. So just because you can do it, you know, you didn't have the opportunity because, you know, she didn't want to sign a paper to fight you. I'm letting you know now. I'm going to kick her ass for the both of us. Yeah, we all know Laila does it. And Wolf, we know that. We don't got to. She know that. Everybody know that. It's literally written, I think, somewhere.
Now, I've seen this before with Ann Wolf, another fighter who used the same playbook. Both of these women have a lot in common in terms of the way they've been able to get visibility for themselves by using my name and making up lies. Since I'm in the season of pulling skirts, I'm gonna go ahead and pull hers too. And I'm gonna do another video on her next. That lie that I would not fight her has been told so many times as if it's a true fact. So I'll be gathering my receipts on her too, since she wants to start talking again. This one is so detached and delusional that she actually praises my father while trying to trash his daughter.
Yeah, we had Laila Ali, but she can't do for women's boxing what I'm doing. Because I kind of feel like God wants me to be like the next Muhammad Ali. Because I kind of feel like God wants me to be like the next Muhammad Ali. I think it's Muhammad Ali, it's Floyd Mayweather, me. That's it. Learn from Muhammad Ali. If you don't validate yourself first, nobody else ever will. You know, she wants to be like in the public and keep her name tied to mine because I'm young and popping. Right now, it's my time. And she wants to keep her name connected to mine. Listen, Muhammad Ali would never. Her daddy would never. Her daddy would never. Maybe she don't have that in her genes.
Now, what father would embrace someone like her or want to be associated with someone like her while she's trying to tear down his very own child? My father was the greatest of all time because not only did he have a beautiful, one-of-a-kind style in the ring, he was also a remarkable individual outside of it. He used his platform to uplift and inspire people. He carried himself with integrity, kindness, and grace. He was someone our community could be proud of, and he represented us well. You know what my father would say? She's a generic wannabe. My father would not want to share his name or image with her. She does not represent anything about him in the ring or outside of the ring. Now, many of us, including myself, had high hopes for her. I supported her. I sent her off in the right direction, but she has become a disappointment. She is a horrible representation of both the sport and our culture.
Beneficial. Fuck them if they win against you. You don't need some bitches with you. Her man ain't got no balls, so you know his big little. Not them fake hoes, do it for the real women. I ain't fuck this nigga 2 years still bitching. Girls who think they just so pretty and just because they born light skin that they just all that. That they can come up with shit talking shit. I look better than you. I look better than you, so you can get off my shit. Light skin, red bone. Yeah, get your funny looking ass out of here. I don't play with these hoes.
You have a clear picture of what our relationship was and what exactly happened in the past that led to today. Now, do you believe I'm jealous of her accomplishments? So in part 2, I'm going to discuss that $15 million offer and finally answer the question everyone wants to know. Will I be coming back to boxing to get that knockout? If you want to know when part 2 drops, turn on your notifications.
All right, so that was Laila Ali's video. If I was her, I wouldn't even fight her. I'm like, I'm not about to come and risk my body and stuff like, like I would just be making a bag off of doing her YouTube, because she just started a new YouTube channel. I would just make some money off of her. That's what I would do personally. But whatever, I'm not a fighter, so I don't know. But let me show you guys. Like I said, I have that whole live that Claressa Shields did towards Laila. Remember how I told you guys I had that whole live? So I'm gonna show it. She really is disrespectful.
Like I even stopped mentioning me and her fighting because it's like, if we're not really gonna fight, if it's not gonna happen, then why we gotta, you know what I'm saying? I just was like, I'm gonna let it go. You know, I've been come to terms with that. To me, she's jealous. I've been come to terms with that. Now it's just like having to, now I got the biopic and I got the fight coming up, and you know what I'm saying? She acts like I owe her something. It's weird. But this is my thing, right? I hate to have to bring this to everybody's attention because it's like y'all don't know because of social media world and how celebrities make themselves look. But Laila Ali is not a former, she's not a champion. She hasn't been inside the ring in 18 years. Since I was 9 years old was the last time she got in the ring, right? So I'm trying to figure out why every time when something going on with me, here she come. Today she really offended me today because she gonna say some burning bridges, and if I keep burning bridges, I won't get very far. I've gotten further in my career and in my life than Laila Ali. What are we talking about? Yeah, it's really too late to hate, if I'm being honest. Like, it's not even a thing of, you know what I'm saying? I don't even compare or contrast to you. I'm saying she's not a champion right now. She's been retired for 18 years. That's what I'm saying. So it's just like for her to just keep making it seem like something is what it's not. Where's my thing at? Here we go. Trying to make it seem like something is what it's not. It's just like crazy to me. She tried to make it seem like she's still relevant. She's not going to come out of retirement and fight me. Yeah, hit the like button, y'all. Smash the like button. And she's not going to come out of retirement and fight me. She said that I'm not going to make it very far, and I made it further than her. And if I keep burning bridges, ma'am, you don't know my life. You're not around me. Who have I burnt the bridge with? Who I'm supposed to have a bridge with? Because I'm around a lot of OGs and genuine people. So I haven't burnt no bridge with somebody who I had have a genuine relationship with me.
Monday.com, the opposite of any work platform we tried in the past. We tried other work management platforms.
I'm talking about everybody who I'm cool with. And y'all know everybody who I'm cool with. Everybody already know. So it's like for her to keep, she wanna come and give this, what is this, big sister advice? Oh, if you keep burning bridges, you won't make it really far. And she said, but I've already made it further than you. I'm gonna keep saying that. I have made it further than you, and I'm gonna keep making it farther than you as I continue to go on my journey. Laila Ali retired from boxing when she was 29 years old. I'm 29 right now. So then you talking about you want to give some game. Laila Ali also is 47 years old. Listen, I ain't got no problem with nobody being older, because you can't help it when you was born. So I don't got no problem with that. But this is the thing. This is my era now. And it's been my era. And she's never supported me in my era. She's never given me no advice but not to turn pro. Was that good advice? Was that good advice? I'm not going to say it was good advice. But at the time, I'm thinking that she came from a place of sincerity, and it was from a genuine place, because it wasn't no way for women's boxing back in her day. Now it's a different time now. I took a risk turning pro. But why did she tell me not to turn pro instead of just saying, all right, boom, I'm going to back you? She's never given no other female fighter her blessing. Oh, wait a minute. She started giving Katie Taylor her blessing once she started having problems with me. She started giving Alicia Baumgartner her blessings once she started having problems with me. That's when she started doing that. So Laila Ali is giving off very much hater energy. And bro, you're not gonna fight me. So why do you keep bringing me up? You're not gonna come out and fight nobody, let alone me. she never gave me no advice or tips on how to make more money in women's boxing. She didn't show me no shortcut. She ain't put me in contact with no people to help me get to where I was trying to get to. Man, stop. Man, it's crazy. Every time I'm having a moment, she do the same thing. Same stuff. Every time I'm big, I'm blowing up, people talk about me, here she come. Here she come.
All right, so you guys heard that. Like I said, they've been beefing back and forth for a few years. All right, so you guys heard that. So this is what Laila Ali had to say when she was talking about burning bridges. Let me just show you guys. Because she went on a podcast here for a few years now. So Laila Ali had this to say about Claressa.
After she won the Olympics the first time, I commentated the Olympics. I was aware of who she was.
Okay.
She reached out to me somehow and asked me advice about should she go to the Olympics again, should she go pro. And I remember telling her, like, there ain't nothing at 168. You know what I'm saying? Like, she told me she was doing good in school. I asked her about herself. She's really smart. You know, I said I would do the Olympics again, and then I would go to school and do something else. Like, I'm thinking she's going to use the Olympics and catapult into something else. You know what I'm saying? But because I was like, at 168, there's nothing.
In the pros.
In the pros. I said, you're going to make no real money there. I said, but if you do go pro, go down. I had a lengthy conversation about that because you go down to watch.
All right, so you saw that. So I guess Claressa was saying, like, she didn't want me to go pro, like she had a problem with me.
To stop doing, you know, that I would have to do. So I guess I know that she heard that and took offense to it. And then the next thing I know, she's on YouTube saying, Laila Ali was on, you know, she said it out of her own mouth. Like, she heard me say there was nobody that she was inspired by that she felt could give her competition. I feel some kind of way. So then she started calling me out. And I was like, wow. So first thing I thought, because I'm the type of person, I would just pick up the phone. Like, you would think she'd pick up the phone, but I know this new generation, like you said, is different. But now you took it public. And she was always the one calling me anyway. So I was about to call her and say, hey, what's going on? I was like, okay, that's where she decided to go with it. So then, of course, now, you know, the public is. They're going to exasperate it.
They're going to spin it.
And then the next time I do another interview, at that point, she had already, you know, talked about me, and she started putting stuff on her social media page. She ain't never fought.
All right, so you heard that. She also had mentioned, I just have the audio of it, but she mentioned how Claressa was going to burn bridges in the industry by the way she reacts to stuff. So I'll let you hear it.
Happen. I think that fans don't like it because fans are like, man, we love both of y'all. You know, why does it have to be this way? So again, that's pretty much how it happened. And that for me is like, there's just certain things.
Okay. I don't know why I stopped.
You could think that, because fans are like, man, we love both of you. And that for me is like, there's just certain things that are not okay with me. It's hard to come back from. And again, I don't have any hard feelings against Claressa in general, because I got a lot going on over here, you already know, to be worried about any of these young girls like that. But at the same time, I see that she gets into it with a lot of people. She gets into it with a lot of female fighters. She gets into it with male fighters. So obviously that's a thing for her. Hopefully she'll figure that out because you're not going to get very far in this life if you continue burning bridges. And even though she's not someone that I consider a friend, hopefully that's some advice that she would take, because you're going to see a lot of people surpass you. Even though you're talented, even though you can say, oh, I won all these belts and I went to the Olympics, I did everybody. You got to really watch your character. You got to stay humble. And, you know, hopefully you don't burn so many bridges along the way, you don't come back from it. Because you want to use this opportunities right now when you have it. It's great that you're doing all these things. And you want to be a role model to those coming behind you. And you want the fans to like, you can think that. Right. That's fine. You're supposed to think
So you heard that at the end, she said, and you want the fans to like you. So I think a lot of people have been saying that Claressa shows. All right, so you guys saw that. Claressa also had this post about Laila. So she said, Laila is pressed. How's she gonna say I'm not gonna make it very far by burning bridges when I've made it farther than she already has? The fact is she's been retired from boxing 18 years. I have great relationships with great people and they're all genuine. This is the same lady told me don't turn pro. Looks like turning pro worked and working out great for me. There are fighters from her era like Ann Wolf, Lucia Riker, who actually want to see the younger fighters win. Those are the champions I respect. Laila is just another example of a bitter old person. So yeah, that is what Claressa Shields had to say, and then it just like went further and further after that. Yeah, she was just dragging Tank Davis. I saw that, and he told her like not to respond. So this is the clip of her talking about like light-skinned people and stuff.
The light-skinned girls who think they just so pretty, and just because they born light-skinned that they just all that they can come up with shit talking shit. One, I look better than you. I look better than you, so you can get off my shit. That's one. And then two, why are you on my stuff if you don't like me? Why? Oh, it's giving obsessed. It's giving obsessed, light skin, red bone. Yeah, get your funny looking ass up out of here. I don't play with these hoes. It's mostly a lot of light skinned women who come bothering me. Yeah. They be hating on everything. Oh, she just thinks she's so pretty, but she got a strong jawline. Baby, you see this face. What the hell wrong with you? I'm my ancestors' dream, girls. You fucking crazy? Stop playing with me. I'm light skinned, I love you. Oh, I love you too. You all right. You good. I don't even mean to come at all light skinned girls for real, but usually, and I don't really be liking it because I know for sure it ain't about light skin, dark skin, white, black, Mexican, Puerto Rican. I'll whoop a girl ass. I already know that. So it'd be like when they be talking crazy to me, I'd be like, man, I ain't really the one to be playing with. Who is this girl? Another fucking light skin. Another light skin. Your haters really got under your skin. How my haters got under my skin when I'm on here celebrating me not being guilty for smoking weed? Saray _Summers, you blocked. You is dumb as hell. You blocked, man. And then once again, proving my point. Another light-skinned girl. Listen, if you're a light-skinned girl and you love me, I love you too. But I am telling you, some of these light-skinned girls be having like self-esteem problems. And the fact that my self-esteem is up here and theirs is down here, they come fucking with me. It's always the light-skinned girls who think they just so pretty.
All right, so those were some of the comments. All right, so let me read some of you guys. Someone said Layla looks amazing. Someone said, heck, she may have brain damage from taking all those blows to the head. Layla did point out that Claressa has been knocked out before. Someone said, damn, she looks older than Layla. Layla looks good. It could be another reason why, Claressa doesn't like her or something. But it said Claressa was triggered, but I don't think Layla was taking any shots at her. She was just speaking in general about returning to boxing. Someone said Claressa is jealous of Layla. Someone said she's Delulu. Layla is a class act. Someone says, wow, that's the ignorance this generation has. Yeah, they disrespect that. She's so disrespectful. And it's like, you're a fan of her father, but you keep attacking his daughter and you keep like using him to go at her, like that's what's probably disrespectful. Like I wouldn't like that, like somebody that keeps bringing up my dead dad, but yeah, that's exactly what she's doing, capitalizing off the hype, and I don't blame her. Talking about Layla, someone said, why can't she use her dad's name using someone else's name? Someone said, this is exhausting. Layla, the all-time original GOAT, period. Someone said Claressa was just dragging Tank Davis. Someone said Claressa been hitting the head too much. She's delusional. But if we say that about dark-skinned women, we're called colorists. Right, exactly. Someone said sounds like she got the big head. Layla is beautiful. I wouldn't fight this girl. I'm too old, but even if I was, she's slow. Someone said stay off the internet, child. Someone said I'm from Bainbridge Street, Sam Block. Ask Pop. I'm way older. However, I can't wait until Layla... I can't wait until Papoose goes home to his wife. Someone said prime Layla would have been a problem for Claressa. Right. Okay, so that is the situation. That was just part one. So when she puts part two, we'll definitely keep you guys updated. So what do you guys think about this entire situation? Drop your comments below and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos from Empress Radio. All right, bye.